The mysterious man at the tomb. One of the most overlooked moments in the resurrection story happens not outside the tomb, but inside it. In John chapter 20, after Mary Magdalene discovers the stone rolled away, she runs to tell the disciples. Peter and John rush to the tomb. John gets there first, but it's Peter who goes inside. And there, he sees something odd. The linen strips are lying there, yes, but the cloth that had covered Jesus' head was folded, set apart, neatly placed. This isn't just a casual detail, this is a signal. In ancient Jewish tradition, a folded napkin meant something very specific at a meal. If the master folded his napkin, it meant, I'm not done, I'm coming back. But there's another moment, deeper, more mysterious. When Mary finally peers into the tomb, she sees two angels sitting, one where Jesus' head had been, and one at his feet. Why two? Why sitting? Why in those positions? To the Jewish mind, this imagery would have sparked instant recognition. In the Holy of Holies, the sacred place in the temple, sat the Ark of the Covenant, and on it, two cherubim facing each other, one on each side. Between them, the mercy seat, the place where the high priest would offer the blood of sacrifice for the forgiveness of sins. Now suddenly, in this empty tomb, we see two angels facing each other over the place where Jesus had lain. Not just an empty tomb, but a new mercy seat. The final sacrifice had been offered, and it was accepted. This moment wasn't just about resurrection. It was about redemption. Not just that Jesus got up, but that sin stayed down. That folded cloth, that angelic arrangement, it wasn't coincidence. It was a message. He is risen. He is the fulfillment, and he's not done yet. The true meaning of the rod and staff. Psalm 23 is one of the most quoted passages in the Bible. It's short, it's beautiful, it's comforting, but like so many verses we've memorized, we often overlook what it's truly saying. In verse 4, David writes something profound. I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. It's easy to read past that line. It sounds poetic, sure, but what exactly does it mean for a rod and staff to bring comfort? These were tools of a shepherd, but not interchangeable. They had very different purposes. The rod was short, heavy, and used as a weapon, not against the sheep, but against what hunted them. Wolves, thieves, lions. When David says, your rod comforts me, he's saying, I know you'll fight for me. I know you'll protect me, even when I don't see what's coming. This is the God who defends his flock from dangers both seen and unseen. The rod is not gentle, it's fierce, it's precise. It's wielded with love that's willing to confront danger head-on. Then there's the staff, longer, slender, curved at the end. The shepherd's staff wasn't for attack, it was for guidance. When a sheep would wander off, the hook of the staff would gently pull it back, not with punishment, but with redirection. So when David says, your rod and your staff comfort me, he's recognizing two sides of God's love. The God who protects me from my enemies, and the God who protects me from myself. We often want the staff when we're lost, but we need the rod when we're in danger. We may not always recognize when God is fighting for us, and we may not always enjoy being corrected when we stray. But in both cases, it's love. In both cases, it's the shepherd. That's why David wasn't afraid to walk through the valley of the shadow of death. He wasn't alone. He wasn't unguarded. He wasn't directionless. He had a rod beside him, ready to strike, and a staff behind him, ready to guide. That's comfort. He gives Moses signs and wonders. Eventually, Moses agrees. He gathers his family and heads back to Egypt. God tries to kill him. Yes, you heard that right. God just commissioned Moses as Israel's deliverer, and then immediately seeks to put him to death. What is going on? At a lodging place on the way, the Lord met Moses and was about to kill him. Just like that. No explanation, no warning. But then something strange happens. She says, surely you are a bridegroom of blood to me. And just like that, God relents. Moses lives. Now, what just happened? God said plainly. It was a serious problem. God is holy. His covenant is sacred. But there's more. She understands the gravity of what's happening and does what Moses failed to do. In a moment of crisis, she becomes the covenant keeper. And notice something else. She touches the blood to Moses' feet. In Scripture, feet often represent direction, a person's path. It's as if Zipporah is saying, your path must now be covered by covenant, by obedience, by blood. This moment is intense, uncomfortable, confusing, but it's also revealing. God wasn't being cruel. He was being consistent. Moses wasn't just going to be Israel's spokesperson. He would be God's representative. And the representative of a holy God must first be consecrated himself. Before Moses could speak to Pharaoh, God had to speak to Moses. Through judgment, through covenant, through blood. Sometimes before God uses us publicly, He corrects us privately. This story isn't about God being reckless. It's about God being righteous.